first, let's talk about the rising stars. We're going to talk with a guy about owned on their level. Then we're going to go up a notch. Then we're going to go up a notch and help you figure out whether or not you should drop your long-established bench guys to pick up maybe a flash in the pan, starting with Los Angeles Chargers running back Kimani Vidal. Vidal, hot pickup this week with Omarion Hampton out. 124 yards on 18 carries, 4 targets, 3 catches, a touchdown. Big performance. Outsnapped Hassan Haskins 42-20. Looks like the guy in Los Angeles right now. So, Yaj, would you rather have Kimani Vidal or Jaguars RB2, Bhayshul Tuten?
Well, it's going to come down to who's being used right now, and that's not Tuten. So, I mean, I could have actually made this move myself last week. I chose not to, not really understanding what the roles were going to be in the Chargers backfield, but clearly it's Vidal. And at this rate, it looks like he's going to be used frequently, and I would be dumping Tuten at this point for him if you have the opportunity.
Yeah, as a Hampton owner and a guy who picked up Amari DeMarcado over Vidal, over Michael Wilson, I have regrets. I would not be picking up Tuten right now. He's getting some run out of the backfield as a receiver, 7 routes last week, but the carries aren't there. And the vision is not really there as well. I don't know if you saw the highlight clip this week, Yash. Tuten, all he's got to do is move slightly to his left for a big gain. Instead, he just runs right into his own blocker, and the guy and the defender he's paired up with trying to bowl everyone over. Love the effort. He's fast as hell. Dude loves contact, but that's not going to get you tons of fantasy points right now. Next man up, 57% owned, Houston Texans running back. Maybe the RB1, maybe RB1B, Woody Marks. Do you want Kimani Vidal on your roster, or do you want Woody Marks?
All right, here's a tale of 2 running backs with relatively similar roles. The thing we have to keep in mind is how long Vidal is going to have this role. Marks is locked in for the year, it looks like, as the pass catching back. Nick Chubb is not going anywhere, so apparently Nick Chubb is still going to be that goal line back. So as of now, if you're going to make the choice between the two, you could go with Vidal, just because that injury to Hampton doesn't look like it's going to be healing up anytime soon. So give or take 5 weeks worth of production, at least 5-6 weeks. I'm going to go with Vidal here.
Yeah, I think I would actually go in the opposite direction on that one, even though Marks is going to be a frustrating case, right? He only has 4 red zone carries so far. Anything near the goal line looks like it's going to go to Nick Chubb, but the receiving role out of the backfield for Texans team that's getting crushed up front, there's going to be a lot of checkdowns waiting for him. CJ Stroud needs to get the ball out of his hands and get it to someone. Woody Marks can be that guy. We know Nick Chubb has never really quite been that kind of receiving back. And Kimani Vidal, let's be honest, Yash, he doesn't get to face the Miami Dolphins every week. Those numbers are going to come back down. This is a guy who could barely get off the practice squad before this week for a reason. He's a guy who was ceding snaps to Najee Harris, who was a plotter. I don't know, despite the big week 6 output, that he's going to be able to get back to those heights ever again. I think Marks is maybe the safer bet there. Next man up, a man you might have stashed on injured reserve, 77% owned, Minnesota Vikings, Aaron Jones. Yash, do you want the stability of old man Aaron Jones coming off the injured list probably soon? Or do you want the flash in the pan, high ceiling of a Kimani Vidal?
I'm a risk taker. I'm going to roll with Vidal again. Simply put, Jordan Mason is not going anywhere as well. And he's been getting the majority of the scoring chances in that Minnesota offense. So I'll take Vidal just because, once again, we don't know exactly when Hampton's returning. So for now, especially if they don't go out and make a trade, we have the RB1 for the Bolts locked and loaded in my lineup, and I'm going to stick with him rather than going with old man Jones.
I'm going to go counter you again. And you got a quarterback with a lot to prove out there, and there's going to be a lot of checkdowns. Aaron Jones is running a ton of routes before he got hurt. He's a savvy guy. And also lately, Jordan Mason hasn't exactly lit the world on fire. Yes, he's got those yards per carry over expected going right now, but been fairly underwhelming. You do think that Aaron Jones is going to get more of a look in that offense, especially if he can bring value out of the backfield as a receiver for J.J. McCarthy, should he ever return, or Carson Wentz. I think I want the more established production and the higher floor compared to the will he, won't he of a Kimani Vidal.